If you've got back pain that you can literally put your thumbs right on, I'm going to show you how to get rid of that today, and more importantly, give you a strategy for making sure it does not come back ever again. What's up, guys? Jeff Cavalier, Athlean-X.com, here with Jesse and Raymond. If you're looking for a way to get rid of that back pain, and I'm talking about the type that you can literally put your finger right on, right, where you can feel it, and sometimes even by putting your finger there, it shoots pain down into your butt too. There's something you can do about it. You need to first of all start identifying what it is, though, properly, because it really isn't low back pain. We're not talking about the muscles here or the low back, even though you might feel some of that pain up there. Really what we're talking about is a glute medius, and this is a rampant problem, and one that is caused by a lot of sitting and a lot of things that we're maybe even doing wrong in the weight room. But first of all, we want to make sure that we're all talking about the same thing. And right here, if you look on Raymond, the glute medius is this muscle that runs right up under here, okay? It's actually underneath the glute max, and it attaches just on the inside of this bony area here that we're going to call the PSIS. Now, why does that matter? Because big bony areas make it really easy to feel and find out and make sure that you're on the same spot. So if we look here on Jesse, if you lean forward, you can then rub your hands across the low back, and you should instantly be able to feel two spots where the bones are sticking out. And that is exactly that same area that I just showed you on the skeleton. If you run your fingers just to the outside, and that's where you get all that increase in pain and tension, then we are talking about the same thing, and this is what we're going to be able to take care of right now. All right, so what's the muscle supposed to do for you anyway? Two things. The first is you should be able to use it to abduct your hip, meaning to lift your hip up and out to the side. The other thing that's even more important is that with every step you take, its job is to make sure that your pelvis stays level. Because we know that when we lift one leg, the body wants to fall in that direction, meaning the hip on this side wants to fall out this way. Right? So it wants to instead, if the muscle's working right, keep your pelvis level so that it's not doing this. There's something called the Trendelenburg gait that when your hips can't do this, you start to look like, show them, Jesse. Yeah, sort of like that, right? But it starts to drop on every step. You don't want that to happen, but here's what's even bigger. If you lift weights and you squat, the problem is I can almost guarantee you that when you start to get this pain at some point, it's because you do not have an equal distribution of weight through both of your legs. And we can test that very, very easily, and you're probably going to be very shocked by what you see. Just stand with your feet pretty much shoulder width apart, like here. Now, when you go, all you want to do is just lift one leg up off the ground. If I lift the left leg, I can do that. Okay, not a problem. If I have to lift my right leg, I have to almost shift my weight too much, a lot more significantly than I did on the other side. If you have to shift your weight, or if you even see that your shoulders sort of move a lot to one side in order to get your weight off of that foot, then you do not have an equal distribution. And what's going to happen there is you're going to cause imbalances that will start to rear their ugly head in the form of this more frequent back pain, and we can eliminate that. When you squat, you want to have equal distribution. So now, the most important thing is fixing the damn thing, right? So if we come down on the ground, I'm going to show you exactly how we can do this and get rid of it right now, and more importantly, some exercises you can do to strengthen it so it doesn't come back again. Okay, so the fix for this is actually pretty easy to do, and most importantly, quick, because if you find this and you do it right, you're going to feel relief right away. So you take your finger and you put it, your thumb, you put it right up on that spot, okay?
You're going to draw me like one of your French girls, Jeff?
I can't draw, dude. Let's go. So you put your, idiot. You put your thumb right on that spot, okay? From here, now all you're going to do is use your own pressure from your hand and then move your leg in a certain direction, okay? Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to start reaching for a lacrosse ball and putting it underneath you, because when you're in pain and you're already inflamed, you're putting too much pressure on this area. It's likely to resist what you're trying to do and not help you to fix it, okay? In this case, you want to use the top-down pressure that you can control. So once your finger is on that spot, you're going to take your leg through the same direction right here. You're going to come down until your knee touches the ground, okay? Once it touches the ground, it's going to kick back behind you into extension, okay? It's key that you get past the midline of your body here, and then when you do, you're going to lift up. Okay, your toes should be pointing a little bit down towards the ground when you do, so we make sure that we're getting a lot of hip abduction here. So then the thumb pushes and holds this back. Now, I don't have to do any of this. This is going to be done all by you and Jesse. You're pushing as hard as you can into that spot. He comes up, he lifts, goes down, touches down nice and slow, back into extension, lifts up, toes pointing down, and every time you feel that, right, Jesse? You can feel it flossing through there. You do this about 10 times, okay? Once you're done with those, you rest for about 10 seconds. And now we want to try to fatigue out this muscle spasm here, this trigger point. Okay, try to see if we can burn it out. Right. You hold that spot one more time. You get right back into this position. So the leg, again, back into extension, toes pointing down, abduct it, and hold it, and squeeze it as hard as you can. In other words, lift this up, squeeze it as hard as you can. Now, one of the interesting, he's groaning over here, one of the interesting things that you're going to notice is that when you have issues here and you get this frequent low back pain, this muscle is probably really, really damn weak. And this alone feels like agony. You can't even hold it up, even though you... I know people that can squat hundreds and hundreds of pounds that really can't do this exercise very well, and that shows how much pain and weakness there is, right? Yeah. So we got to do that. Once you've done that, now when you stand up, you should notice an immediate relief. Go ahead and stand up, Jesse. You should notice an immediate relief in the amount of discomfort that you feel in that spot. We've actually gotten rid of that pain for the short term, but more importantly now, how do we keep it away? That's what I want to show you next.